Minnesota should change its license plate. On the bottom of the license plate it says land of 1,000 lakes. They should change it to land of 100,000 mosquitoes. There. Oh, look at. See the roof? Everywhere. There's no end in sight. It's nuts. I slept with a window open last night. I guess, I don't know. I haven't opened a window in a long time, but it must have rattled open while I was driving. So I got no sleep because all night all I hear is bastards. Nora upset the geese. They were sitting on the grass right outside our door, and then I opened it and she chased them all over. Oh man. I wonder if God created mosquitoes. It makes for an interesting question, huh? Did God create ticks, mosquitoes, and leeches? Was that his intention, to create some blood-sucking critters? That guy seems to think so. Alright, I gotta get out of here.
The mom says the next time Canada hosts something as big as
blue skies. I want blue skies. Finally feel like I'm up, getting out into the middle of nowhere. A lot less population, a lot less cities, a lot less things. Feels nice. I like it. It's my kind of place. A whole lot of nothing going on. That's the way it should be. Come on, blue sky.
As if Mother Nature had turned into a spoiled child and thrown a tantrum. There's a lot of symbolic meaning to these primaries and this
variables at play, but do you see the trends?
I think there's a lot we don't yet know. I mean, some interesting information on the table is how it's the big sign. And
sort of the perfect storm that we're seeing play out right now, and it's a very sad scene. Reports that we're getting a lot of ethnic Uzbeks fleeing these neighborhoods that are burning.
I'm thinking, to an extent, I no longer feel like I can share the trip with you through the camera, just because it's become such a regular pattern of my life. When I first started off and left Oregon, it was all new, and I could turn the camera really easily because everything was new and exciting and fun to film. But now it's just regular getting up, day-to-day action, and I'm still out there meeting new people. There was a guy I met the other day at the park, young kid. I think I told you about him yesterday. And it's really, I'm starting to to realize how much my perspective on the country, not what the country's about or good or bad, but my perspective on how maybe on its reality, what it I gotta stop. The character that's really out there, it's become a real place to me rather than a fictional storybook idea in my head. The US has become a lot more real and something that's no longer fiction in my head, but I guess it's become non-fiction in my head. Does that make any sense? It's still my own idea, my own perception, but it's now real versus believed or expected. Anyways, back to what I was trying to say is that, you know, I could show you waking up with a bunch of mosquitoes, and I could have filmed talking to that guy the other day at the state park. And I can film myself driving down the road, putting way too many miles on the car because I want to go somewhere where it's sunny and get the landscape the way I like it, which is pretty much, I'm deciding, nothing. I like barren landscape with a few rocks, maybe some big bluffs, big old trees out in the middle of nowhere, but not these dense wooded hardwood forests that I've been in for the past month, and swampy lake lands that produce a bunch of bugs. Don't like. So I can give you all that, but the kind of each mile ticking by, you know, I give you maybe 2 miles of my driving, and I drive 200 miles the past 2 days. And I give you a snippet of my thoughts throughout the day, but I'm thinking all day long. There's just my traveling has become a constant stream of a unique consciousness that, as I come full circle and come all the way around back to the West Coast, I guess my thoughts are doing the same thing, and my thoughts on driving around the country are doing the same thing. And I don't know. I'm supposed to be on a sailboat anyways. I wasn't even supposed to drive around the country. But I did. And just a little while ago I thought maybe I want to give up on the idea of getting a sailboat and just go buy a little piece of land out in the middle of the desert somewhere around Utah or somewhere around the Four Corners region, or maybe up in Oregon and go way out in the desert and buy a piece of land. I want the sailboat, so I need to go see the world. I want to do that. I'm sure in traveling around the world I'll simply come back to the West Coast and the Oregon area and realize that's what I love, just because that's where I was raised. And I think whatever you're given when you're young, that's probably what you hold on to most and cherish and love the most. No matter how great another area of the country may or may not be, it doesn't really matter, because that's what you had when you were young and when life was still yours to create and yours to decide. And still yours to dream up. I think that's where love probably comes from, somewhere in that realm of mental possibilities. Anyways, I'm about to get into North Dakota, and I gotta stop driving sooner or later because it's not good for the car, I don't think. Somehow figure out. I guess that's it. I'm sharing the trip with you.
I'm gonna split. I can't stand it. I'm gonna.
Welcome to North Dakota. Dakota. Things look better in North Dakota already, huh? Can you see it? It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real nice. Feels like summer again. So good. Only had to drive 200 miles to change the weather. Oh, I love it. I was gonna stay the night right here, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Probably not. Does my face look skinnier? I just got done with the standing frame. And I forgot to do the before and after. I used to think my face got skinnier when I got done standing. But it's not. What was that? I had this great joke. I always rehearse before I talk to you, and it's pointless because I'm better if I just talk without rehearsing. Anyways, my joke was something about. What was my joke about? There was no joke. You'd think I was obsessed with my looks, which I am, and you all are too, you just have to admit it. But the real reason I'm always curious as to whether or not my face is any skinnier after standing, it's just this long playing psychosis that I have where I'm always curious as to how different my body would be physically, you know, like what my muscle structure would be different, how my face features would be different, how just all of my features would be different if I wasn't paralyzed from the waist down and hadn't been that way for the past 10 years, what I would have looked like if I had been able-bodied for the past 10 years. And it's not any type of vain thing that I do or anything that's a problem, you know, it doesn't hinder me in any way. It's just something I'm interested in, and really it's all doesn't matter anyways, because everything a person goes through in life affects the way they look. And mine happened to be one significant event, which is paralysis, and it could have gone either way that day, and I could have been able-bodied for the past 10 years and not disabled-bodied. So I'm always curious as to how I would have been different in all manners of life, not just physically, but my character and person and what I'm doing. I know I wouldn't be sitting here on top of this hill in South Dakota. Nope, North Dakota. Hold on, there's a motorcycle coming. Nora's in the way. Just come! Nora, come! Hurry! Now! Wouldn't be sitting here in North Dakota talking to a camera, putting it on YouTube, embarrassing myself like I am, having this much fun. Who knows what I'd be doing? Maybe I've gotten some girl pregnant by now. Maybe I'd be a preacher. Maybe I'd be a physical therapist, huh? Yeah. You guys can test. Good, how you doing, man?
Good. Spot in the world, isn't it?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Just met some folks from Oregon. They gave me a beer. We talked, it was nice. I'm tired. A little buzzed. I'm only lonely when I talk to people, and then as soon as they're gone, I realize, I kind of liked being able to talk to some people. But all day long, I do just fine by myself, and it's really not that big of a loneliness at all. The loneliness, or any type of loneliness, sets in after I've talked to a few people. I'm slurring my words because I ate a big dinner, and I drank a little beer, and I'm ready to say goodbye. See you tomorrow.